So after my wife and I had our first child and my full-time job, I thought that my side hustle days are over. Well, in this video, I give you real tips and examples on how you can still make money and perform that side hustle if you're a full-time employee or if you have a busy life. Welcome to the channel. My name is Matt. I am Mike's twin brother. On his channel, Your Driver Mike. And like I said, once our family began, I thought that my side hustle days were over, but there's a huge advantage to having a side hustle, and that is bringing in monthly income that will help your family. So here's how to break down exactly how to manage your time and still make that money. So something you want to think about is this going to be a long-term side hustle or a short-term side hustle? Is there a temporary or momentary goal, if you will, that you want to meet? Maybe it's paying off credit cards or saving up for a down payment on a home or a car. Whatever your goal happens to be, think about how long you want to do this side hustle and then go from there. So once you figured out your side hustle schedule, maybe you want to do this for a few weeks or a few months. Get your spouse or significant other or roommate or whoever happens to be involved and plan a certain amount of hours per week that they are willing to support you in whatever side hustle you choose, whether it's food delivery or parcel delivery, whatever it happens to be. If you're a food delivery driver with Uber Eats or DoorDash or Grubhub, think maybe I can't do 40 hours a week like I would like to, or 20 hours a week. I only have 5 hours or 1 hour a week. I am telling you, all of those earnings really add up so you can reach that temporary goal. Don't give up and think, well, 1 hour a week is not enough, because I am telling you from experience, after driving thousands and thousands of rides, it really does add up quick. So speaking of adding up quick, you want to think about how you're going to get there and what your life now requires. And maybe that requires a more flexible shift. So think about whatever side hustle you're choosing. Maybe let's say it's food delivery. Well, should I choose a food delivery app or a platform that I can go offline immediately? So for example, if I'm driving on DoorDash, let's say, I can set a goal for myself of a certain amount of dollars per hour. Maybe it's $20 an hour or $30+ an hour if you're driving that dinner rush. Well, you want to think, can I go offline immediately if I need to go back to my family or something comes up? Pick those apps, maybe it's DoorDash or Uber Eats or Grubhub, where you can go online and offline versus scheduling a long shift where you're really committed per se towards those hours. And again, this is all up to you. If your significant other, roommate, or spouse, whatever it happens to be, is okay with you being gone for 4 hours at a time, let's say, then maybe you can schedule a shift with, let's say, Amazon Flex or Shipt or Instacart or whatever it happens to be. So it all depends on your schedule, but remember, it's important to talk and communicate on how much time you're going to give this side hustle so everyone can be on board, and when you're out on the road, you can focus on making money. So you've understood in point one if this is going to be a long-term or short-term side hustle as far as how long you're going to do this, and you've communicated either to yourself with a personal goal or those around you how much time you're willing to commit to this side hustle as a full-time employee or someone that has full-time responsibilities. But what about point number three, one of the most important points, the pay? So this is something I've thought about quite a lot, and pay can mean so many things because, again, time is money. And you want to think about, well, what is a goal that I'm going to make per hour or when I'm out on my shift? What is my goal per hour? What is my time worth? And it's interesting because you can understand maybe how much you make at your full-time job or your goal hourly rate on the side hustle. So again, maybe you want to make $25 or $35+ an hour. Obviously, you want to make as much as you can, but think about which app, which side hustle you can reach that hourly goal on a consistent basis. And this is exactly where my twin brother's channel, the channel you're watching right now, Your Driver Mike, really comes in handy because he gives you the tips and tricks, whether it's rideshare or food delivery or parcel delivery, on what you can expect and how to maximize those earnings. And I just know from experience, I'm a huge fan of food delivery because it offers me the flexibility to go offline when I choose And especially if I drive the dinner rush, I can make a really good hourly rate. So this next one, almost no one talks about, but it's really important. So you want to lean in for this one. If you're somebody that has a full-time job or maybe a family and you're working hard to make a little bit of extra money with a side hustle, you want to balance your work-life balance and your mental health and your stamina. And this is something that is not talked about enough, because I can tell you when you're on that grind, if you will, and you're working maybe 40, 50, or 60 hours a week, and you're probably doing it to meet a very admirable goal. Maybe you're paying down debt or saving for your child's college tuition, whatever it happens to be. It can be draining. So here's some tips that I can give you after thousands and thousands of rideshare and food delivery trips that I have taken. So how do you stay motivated after a full days of work with a full family that you have to balance, and now you're on the road with yourself, and how do you stay motivated? Well, some tips that I have found when you're on the road is to have a favorite podcast or maybe a favorite music channel that you always listen to that might pump you up. Maybe it's a really high energy music that you really like. I wear headphones whenever I'm driving food delivery, and I simply pause the music when I go into the restaurant, and then I play it again whenever I leave, and it really gets me in the zone. But what about your stamina? You're constantly on your feet, which is really challenging, especially if you have a physical job already. Well, one thing you do not want to ignore is staying hydrated, especially in the summer when you're out on the road and the sun's coming down on you. It can be really draining. And let's be honest, driving around itself is really tiring. You're watching, for pedestrians, for just traffic in general. Well, the one thing you can do in addition to the music and the stamina with hydration is this. You want to celebrate those goals. So in the last point, we talked about your pay, and let's say it's $20 an hour, which is a very good hourly goal. Every time you reach that goal, you want to congratulate yourself or just take a short break and say, great, now what is my next strategy this next hour? Do I want to go to $25 an hour? And just remember, if you go beneath that and you fail, so to speak, on your goal, the great thing about side hustles is you're very likely to make it back the next hour. Do not get discouraged, because that can really mess with your mentality. You don't want to get down. You don't want to beat yourself up if you miss your hourly goals. That's okay. Maybe something comes up and you have to end your shift early. Every single hour that you're out there is a bonus. It's extra money. It's extra effort towards your goals. And that's the most rewarding thing. Almost always, the money is immediate. You can withdraw it exactly when you need it. You don't have to wait in a lot of circumstances. So just remember to stay upbeat, take care of your health, and stay hydrated. You want to make sure to stay motivated, and you want to celebrate those victories, because you're out there working hard and taking care of whatever goal it happens to be. And here's a really cool tip, tip number 5, that I want to share with you. I really think this one is crucial, and I enjoy so much talking to you guys about the side hustle, especially if you're a full-time employee or if you have a family, and it is this. You want to join a community if you can, and you're already watching this video, which is great, but you also want to consider joining the Discord group that Mike has for rideshare or food delivery, where you can talk with other drivers live in real time and just share your victories or ask questions or post on the YouTube videos, maybe a comment or a question, or just say, hey, I made $40 an hour driving from 5 to 6 p.m. in my city, and maybe you have some tips that you want to share with other drivers. When you are a part of a team, which you are on this channel, then you can really get behind and support each other, because we're all out there with different kind of goals. So my advice, point number 5, join a team, whether it's this channel or other channels of like-minded hard workers just like you, and you can make that money doing whatever side hustle you choose. So you've decided if this is going to be a long-term or short-term side hustle to reach your goals, communicated with those in your life or yourself, those personal goals, thought about pay, and you're going to think about celebrating those victories and making sure that you understand every single hour that you're out there on top of your full-time responsibilities is extra money and incentive to reach your goals. So if you do like this content and some of those tips, please make sure to drop a like. Again, this is Matt. I am Mike's twin brother on his channel, Your Driver Mike. If you like these tips and tricks and you want to see more content, consider subscribing, and we will see you in the next video.